You were never asked what kind of life you wanted. You were told to sit, to listen, to memorize. You were measured, compared, and streamlined. And the reward? A seat at a table that's already burning. This isn't about trauma, it's about sedation. Not the kind that knocks you out, the kind that keeps you moving. This is a story about someone who did everything right and ended up feeling nothing at all. It started with a gold star, a quiet child, a clean uniform, a raised hand. Adults smiled, teachers nodded. Well behaved, they said. But the system wasn't praising character, it was rewarding obedience. The ones who asked questions were labeled difficult. The ones who followed instructions got applauded. Discipline was mistaken for virtue. Compliance for intelligence. Seneca once said, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." But no one told the child that. They were told to chase approval, not meaning. Over time, that child learned the rules. Don't speak unless asked. Don't move without permission. The goal wasn't to become wise. It was to become manageable. By adolescence, the machine was fully operational. Timetables, uniforms, exams. Learning wasn't about understanding. It was about recall, memory, not mastery. You weren't asked to think, only to repeat. And if you were fast, you were called smart. If you paused to think, you were falling behind. Nietzsche would have laughed, not because it's funny, but because it's tragic. He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. Schools rarely teach you to obey yourself. They teach you to fear mistakes, chase marks, and silence dissent. By the time you graduate, you're not curious. You're trained. Enter adulthood. Now the system needs output. You work, you smile, you optimize your LinkedIn, you perform. You don't question if the work matters, only if it's scalable. You reply to emails like a ghost with a Wi-Fi connection. And when the burnout comes, you hide it behind productivity hacks. Caffeine, deadlines, corporate wellness webinars. Marcus Aurelius warned, "A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions." But your ambition was inherited, not chosen. So you work harder and feel less because numbness is useful. A numb worker doesn't resist. A numb worker delivers. Once you dreamed. Now you present your identity as a resume. Your value is your efficiency. Your self is a performance. Even rest is scheduled. Even failure must be reframed as a learning experience. But purpose? That's messy. That's dangerous. Purpose asks questions. Performance only requires polish. Machiavelli said rulers need control, not truth. And this system was built to rule. You were trained to present well, not to live well. You've been told emotions are a liability. Be calm, be professional, be stable. But what they really meant was, be quiet, be predictable, be numb. Crying is weakness. Anger is immaturity. Joy, keep it subtle. You've become a grayscale version of yourself, perfectly neutral, perfectly forgettable. Seneca would shake his head. He believed in self-control, not self-erasure. But you weren't taught how to manage emotions. You were taught how to bury them, then perform like they never existed. They call it making it, the job, the house, the car. A steady decline masked as progress. You spend decades chasing symbols. Then one day you sit in silence and realize you can't feel anything. Not joy, not rage, not even boredom. Just a slow hum, like an engine left running in an empty room. Nietzsche called it the death of the spirit. Not dramatic, not loud, just quiet disintegration. You're not broken, you're successful, and that's the scariest part. You've stopped asking why. You've stopped resisting. Numbness has become comfortable. No pain, no questions, no fire, just manageable sadness. and the occasional spike of empty excitement. The world loves this version of you. Predictable, pliable, productive. Machiavelli said it best. Control is easiest when people sedate themselves. The world didn't beat you, it pacified you. This video won't end with hope, because real hope isn't gifted, it's earned. You don't need motivation, you need awareness. You were trained to function, not to feel, and now you see it. That's the beginning, not of healing, but of remembering. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live." You have functioned long enough. Now ask, what would it mean to feel? If this resonated, it's not by accident. You were never meant to be comfortably numb. Subscribe to this channel, not for noise, but for clarity. We don't chase trends, we dissect them, one system at a time.